Greetings, happy Monday class, and welcome to week 2. Have some good stuff in store for you this week because I get to give you back your rough drafts and I get to get your final drafts. It's just a wonderful week. So let's talk about last week. Just a couple things. Some of you haven't completed the welcome quiz. Didn't complete the welcome quiz. So you might not see a grade, a final, like you might not see a total grade for you yet. That's because if you didn't complete the welcome quiz and you completed the spelling quiz, the system is set up to drop your lowest grade. So if you didn't complete the welcome quiz, and that's a 0, then that's going to be the quiz grade that gets dropped. If you completed the welcome quiz but didn't complete the spelling quiz, which will make the spelling quiz a 0, then the spelling quiz grade is going to be dropped. And that's the one drop you get for the rest of the term. You'll have to complete another quiz, which would be this week's spelling quiz, so that you can see a score there. Either way, though, you will see a score there this week because I'm going to put in the scores for you turning in your rough draft. If you turn in your rough draft, you automatically get 50 points for turning in a rough draft. And the final draft is out of 100 points. If you didn't turn in a rough draft, you missed out on that 50 points. And so the only way to recoup that is to do extra credit. And you can do it. Yeah, you can do it and still get an A in the course. But it means more work. It's extra credit work, though. And extra credits are usually fun. So the extra credits that you turned in this week, whether you submitted it online or emailed it to me because Blackboard was acting funny, my plan is to post those on Wednesday and make a video montage of your extra credits, so you can see what your peers think about water being wet or not. And you can see what they say. This week, your final draft is due. And before you start your final draft, check my comments. And the way to check my comments is to go on Blackboard, look in my grades once you receive your rough draft back, and click on there, open it up, and look at my comment bubbles. They'll be in blue. Just click on the blue little comment bubble, and my comment will open up for you. Let's see. After you do that, feel free to start your final draft, but your final draft must be in MLA format, which is why I have this background up. And I'm going to go over MLA format for you right now. You can also, if you want a different video, you can look in the lessons folder, and in archived video lessons, there's another little quick MLA video, formatting video for you there. All right, so let's open this up. Get my Microsoft Word document for you right here. Boom. So MLA stands for Modern Language Association. And it's a format that's used for humanities courses. And the science courses usually use APA, which is American Psychological Association. The difference between the two, the main difference as far as research and citations are concerned, is that APA makes sure the year is important when you cite. MLA, the year isn't so much important. The reason why APA uses the year for every citation that they do is because it deals with science experiments. And a lot of scientific research. And often scientific research has research that's done year after year with the same name. And the only differentiation is the year. So it can be the study of chocolate and coffee, 2019. The studies of chocolate and coffee, 2020. And if you have those two studies in your paper, the only way to differentiate them is the year. So that's one of the main reasons why APA makes the year so important. But in MLA, we usually deal with literature and books, and not so much experimentation that's done year after year with the same name. So we just basically use the author's last name and the location in the book if we're using a book. So with MLA, we have a header, and some things I'm going to list for you too. In all the research styles, there are a few things that are the same. Everything is double spaced in your paper. Everything, double space, everything. The accepted font is Times New Roman 12-point font. That's the standard font. I suggest that you pick a font that you like, but it must be as legible or as readable as Times New Roman 12-point font. As you can see on my Microsoft Word document, I use Garamond, that's my favorite font, and I use size 13 font. And I have to use size 13 font because Garamond 12-point font is smaller than Times New Roman 12-point font. So I have to use 13 to make it the same size, to make it as legible as Times New Roman 12-point font. So that's what I did. That's what you have to do. Make sure you use a font that is not bolded, is not italicized, is not underlined, no all caps and small caps, and no cursive looking writing, because all of those formats mean something in all of the research styles. So you can't just use formats all willy-nilly. All right, so the first thing I like to get done is the header. And to do that, once you have your page open here, easiest way to do it is to double click in the upper part of the page right here. Click, click, and now we have our header. So we want to put our last name and the page number on the right side of the page. Easiest way to do that is to press the tab key twice. You press it once, it'll center it. Press it again, it'll right align it. So here we're going to put our last name, Peter. Press the space bar one time, and then we're going to put the page number, but we're going to use the page number button. And that's over here in the upper left part of the menu. And since our cursor is already in the right position, we're going to go to current position and plain number. We want to use the plain number because don't want to do anything fancy up there. The research styles are not happy about doing fancy curly cues and colors and stuff. The focus is supposed to be on the content of your paper, not the fanciness or the look of your paper. So as long as it's plain in MLA format, then you're good. Once you put your page number there, we're done with the header for the whole paper. Now you can tell that there's a space between my last name and the page number here. If you use a font and you can't tell that there's a space, if you hit the space bar once after your last name, go ahead and hit 2 spaces. Depending on which font you use, it could be harder to tell. All right, so once you number the header, double click in the body of your page, click, click. And right from the beginning, we can double space everything. So an easy way to do it is to hold down Control and press the number 2, and that will double space it. Or we can use the line and paragraph spacing button here. Click that and bring it on down to 2 for double space. And now when we type, everything will be double spaced. In the body of your page, on the very first line that you can type on, I'm going to write your name. On the next line, you write the instructor's name. On the next line, you write the course. And on the next line, you write the date. In MLA, the standard is the international form of the date, which is date, month, year. But if you wrote June 1st, 2020, I'm not going to take points off, but that's the standard right there. On the very next line, we are going to center and write the title of our paper. The best paper in the world. This is the best paper in the world. On the very next line, if you haven't noticed, we don't skip lines in MLA. You go to the very next line. You start at the first line and you go to the very next line for everything. Don't have empty lines on your paper in any one section of your paper. So we'll get to that when we do the, when we have a works cited page. All right, so very next line, we're gonna go back to a left align and we're gonna start writing our paragraphs. The first line of each paragraph is indented 1/2 inch or 1 hit of the tab key. Boom, there we go. And after you hit a period, you press a period after a sentence, it's optional whether you want to do a single space or a double space. It's up to you, but whatever you choose, be consistent. And make some quick paragraphs here. 1 paragraph. 2 paragraphs. 3, 4 paragraphs. 5 paragraphs. That's the count from Sesame Street in case you didn't know. All right, so here we have our paper in MLA format, our 5 paragraph essay, and it's an MLA, and this is the look of it. If you ever find that you're having trouble getting the format down, I will save this document and post it in the announcement with this video, and you can click on it and save it and open it up and just, you know, put your name in there and everything if you have to. You could use it as a template. Just make sure that your entire paper must be the same font and size. There's no different fonts in your paper. If you have a different font anywhere in your paper, it's a red flag. It looks like you copied and pasted from somewhere. And I'm gonna check. I'm gonna run it through the plagiarism software and see if you copied and pasted something. I'm gonna do that anyway, but like don't raise any flags. That's all I'm saying. All right. So MLA format and your final draft are due this week. Your final draft will be due in MLA format. So take the comments that I put on your rough draft, create your final draft, put it in MLA format, and submit it using the link at the bottom of this announcement. Also, we have the spelling quiz this week. Let me read to you what this week's spelling quiz words are. Are you ready? If you're not ready, pause it. Okay, here we go. So once again, remember that these are in alphabetical order. And if you find yourself spelling something out of order, then something's wrong. All right, so here are the words for spelling quiz number 2. Word number 1, category. Category. Number 2, ceiling, as in the ceiling above our heads that holds the lights. Ceiling. Number 3, cemetery. Cemetery. Number 4, certain. Be sure. Be certain. Number 5, chief. Like a chief executive officer or a Kansas City chief. Number 6, citizen. Citizen. 7, competition. Competition. Number 8, convenience. 7-Eleven is a convenience store. Number 9, criticize. Criticize. Number 10, definite. Definite. 11, describe. Describe. Number 12, desperate. Number 12 is desperate. Number 13, develop. Develop. 14, difference. What's the difference? Number 15, dilemma or dilemma, however you like to say it. 16, disappear. Disappear. Number 17, disappoint. Disappoint. Number 18, discipline. Discipline. Number 19, easily. You can easily pass these quizzes and get an A. And number 20, 8. After 7 comes the number 8. All right, those are our spelling quiz words for spelling quiz number 2 for this week. The quiz will be posted by Wednesday. So check back and have a great week.